But partly of that is that sometimes things weigh on us.
Well,
Sometimes there's a lot is sometimes it may be a little bit overwhelming. So this week our topic for episode 71 is how to avoid a mental crash out. Like crash out is a newer term that has been wide and prevalent, and when it comes to culture, social media, and all the likes, and society, the way that we live in. But essentially, crash out is just, hey, enough is enough. Hey, yo, what is really going on in this world? And yo, sorry, I'm unable to take it anymore. And so we're going to talk about, like, because at the end of the day, we want to avoid those moments where we just like sort of lose control and sort of just lash out and such and such. And so we're going to begin this. We're going to begin this topic. I know Edwin has done a little bit of research on the topic, so we're going to pass the mic over to him as we opine a little bit further on how to avoid a mental crash out. Yes, sir.
all right, let's talk about crashing out. That moment when everything gets too heavy, you just shut down. It's more than being tired. It's emotional and mental exhaustion from bottling things up, carrying too much, or constantly pushing through the pain. Crashing out can damage relationships, derail your goals, and deepen mental health struggles. But here's the truth: you don't have to get to that point. Check in with yourself, talk to someone without guilt, and prevent the crash because your peace is worth protecting. All right. So we're going to dive into today's reading, or as B Live likes to call it, the research. Um, it comes to us courtesy of BetterHelp, a place where I used to get my therapy from. It worked for me, and try it out if you want to. Try it out if you want to. All right. It's called Crashing Out: Understanding Mental Health Terminology in Popular Culture. All right. So we're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to read where it says the concept of a person reaching an emotional point where they struggle to regulate themselves is not new. A verbal phrase like "I'm about to explode," "I'm going to lose it," or "I'm reaching my boiling point" have been used and evolved over time to express the same concept: emotional overload. Becoming emotionally overwhelmed and feeling the urge to yell or lash out is a common human experience. I've done it and I've seen it happen. I've been on both sides of the spectrum, all right?
Yep.
Yeah. Some individuals in younger generations have started using a new term to describe this experience. It's called crashing out. Crashing out can refer to various reactions to emotional overwhelm. Below, explore the definitions of this pop culture term and how to avoid it. So, and throughout the article, it tells us psychology and mental health terminology in pop culture, and it tells us about pop culture terminology has long been used to describe mental health symptoms, conditions, and challenges that may be stigmatized otherwise. In some cases, this terminology can be used to positively connect with others to remove the stigma of seeking help. In other ways, however, some pop culture terms have been used negatively to stigmatize people with mental illness. In addition, pop culture terminology is not rooted in research, so people who might hear it might believe it to be psychological fact or okay to say, even if it isn't. We're gonna put a pin in that. Do your research. Do your research. The worst thing in the world you can do is just use a term that you know nothing about. All right. So, the origins of crashing out is a part of the modern lexicon, was likely originally coined as slang in the AAVE, that's the African American Vernacular English. And the first time it appeared was on a song called Stepped On by rapper NBA Youngboy, released in 2016, but it became widely popular in 2024. Um, so pretty much it tells us that, like, pretty much what how described crashing out is. Um,
Eddie,
what's up?
before you continue, because I feel like this is the first time I've seen this. Did they just come out with a fancy term for ebonics?
For African
African
American
American
males.
vernacular English.
Well,
What?
that's been a while for a minute. That's been
I
a
think I've
while for
seen
a
it
minute.
before. I think I've seen it before, but I was like, that is a really fancy way of saying ebonics. Man,
That's
okay.
been
Blacks.
yeah. That's
What?
did they just gentrify the term ebonics?
Right. Freaking American vernacular English. Yo, I have seen that before, but it just when you I was
Yeah,
like, that's because I haven't heard it, I really haven't heard the term ebonics recently. I
yeah.
think it's an outdated term, but
Mm.
the African American vernacular English. All right, cool, cool, cool. Continue. My bad. I apologize.
Okay, so it says feeling overwhelmed mentally or emotionally. This type of overwhelm refers to experience such intense emotional distress that one breaks out in tears or struggles to function. Panic attacks can also result, or a person may feel frozen or struggle to communicate. Often, episodes like these build up over time as a person experiences more and more stress without relief. Going down some more, like I'm saying, I'm not going to read the whole thing because B Lab will pin it in the chat box, and I'll just show you, read some particulars that stood out to me. All right,
Mhm.
making an impulse decision. The term crash out may have originally been used to speak about a person's impulsive and potentially dangerous decisions, such as going out drink such as going out drinking night after night or having risky relationships with strangers. In other words, it could refer to this sort of behavioral crisis in which a person has less regard for their own safety. Cutting off a relationship. For some people on social media, crashing out is a response to a relationship problem, such as being cheated on or experiencing toxic behavior. In this case, they might crash out by ending the relationship dramatically. And it says was acting in unhealthy ways as a crash out definition. Then it says the importance of defining mental health symptoms, and the article pretty much tells you, what do you do if you're about to crash out? Give you some coping mechanisms, like some self-soothing mechanisms, such as look at a photo album of happy memories, wear a beautiful outfit, put on makeup you enjoy, or watch a comforting film or TV show. People watch, look outside your window, go to a park, or read a book. Scent, light a candle, do all that fun stuff. Sound, listen to your favorite song. I know it always makes me happy. Touch, wear comfortable pajamas, change your bed sheets, wear slippers, snuggle a pet, hug someone you love, put on soothing lotion, partake in a skincare routine, and take bath with soaps. Taste, try a new dessert, order takeout and eat a healthy snack. Practice mindfulness with taste and try a new food. It also tells you what to do and, like, when you face crash out, what going on. This is a very valuable piece of literature that I researched courtesy of Better Health, and as always, Bilal will insert it into the chat/description box.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Please join us every week, Wednesdays on Zoom at 6 p.m., and join our Facebook group for updates and to participate. We care about your mental health, so let's check in.